Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys again with another video, and still going to be talking about the free agency, what's going on. Lions are hitting it pretty hard today. They went out and signed wide receiver Breshad Perriman, 6'2", 215 pounds, 27 years old. Now they signed this kid at a 1-year deal, $3 million. Don't know the ins and outs just yet of the deal, but I just know it's at 1 year at $3 million. And it's a prove it year deal. It's a prove it again deal for another wide receiver, another 1-year deal. So this was a guy that, and if you recognize the last name Perryman, his dad played for the Detroit Lions back from '91 to '96. Brett Perriman, absolute baller. Probably killed it in the 1995 and 1996 seasons. Just absolutely killed it. Like 1,400 yards in '95, 9 touchdowns, and went over 1,000 again in '96. Then he went off to like Seattle or something like that. But he played for the Lions for like 7 years. You know what I mean? 6, 7 years. So he was really good wide receiver. Number 2, number 3. I remember we had Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, and him all at once at one time. That was insane. It was an absolute insane wide receiver core, and he was a huge part of airing it out with him and Mitchell. Only at 5'9", 180 though, so I don't know where I don't know where his kid gets his size from. His kid's 6'2", 215. Breshad, the one that we have now. But this is the guy that was drafted out of University of Central Florida by the Baltimore Ravens in 2015. I think he went 26 overall by the Baltimore Ravens. Had a really good combine, guys. He ran like a 4.35 combine, repped out like 225 like 18, 19 times. Just really athletic, jumped through the roof, fast, just like everything. Really shot up the boards and becoming a first round draft pick. Now, he's been part of 5 NFL teams, okay? 5 NFL teams, man. He's a part of the Ravens. 2015, never even suited up for the Ravens, I don't think. Not a regular season NFL game. He might have played some preseason games, but he went on IR, got hurt. Then he signed with Washington. They waived him like a week later. Never even. I don't think he even got a T-shirt, man, out of that deal. Then he played with the Cleveland Browns, and then he played with the Bucks, where he probably had his best year or so there. Probably had his best single season. And then he played with the Jets last year. Didn't do much there either. Now, there's a guy that only has 125 catches, 2,066 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Nothing impressive about his resume. There's nothing really impressive about his resume. Now, himself, his body, like the way he looks and the way he can run and all that stuff is extremely impressive. But he's never turned it on the field, except for 1 year in Tampa Bay. In 2019, he went over 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. Played like extremely well in Tampa Bay late in the season in that 2019 season. Somebody went down. I don't want to. I think it was Mike Evans. That went down, and he ended up balling out, man. He ended up balling out around like from week 12 or 13 all the way down. Just went off, man. Just like he was going crazy. It was the year Jameis Winston went nuts, but he was throwing a bunch of picks, but he was averaging like 350, 400 yards a game and like 4 or 5 touchdowns. And Perryman was a huge part of that. Now, he's only started 22 games in 5 years though, okay? Missed a lot of time due to injuries. So he's never really turned on a season. So this is another low signing with a guy that has played well in the past, does have the talent, but they got him dirt cheap. They just got him dirt cheap. So this is 2 wide receivers now, guys. 2 wide receivers that they've got on 1-year deals. So now your wide receiver core is Tyrell Williams, okay, is your number 1. Tyrell Williams is your number 1 still. Breshad Perriman's probably your number 2. Quintez Cephas is your 3. Geronimo Allison is your 4. And then Victor Bolden, no idea. 5, don't even know if he's going to make the roster. Not 100% sure Geronimo's going to make the roster. He might, but I don't know. So again, this doesn't take wide receiver off the board. I think it kind of takes it off the board at 7 now. It lowers that percentage of drafting a wide receiver at 7. 100% it does. I'm not saying they still don't do it, because they could. They still could draft a wide receiver at 7. I just don't think they're going to. And I think this, I'm not going to say it cements it, but this takes that percentage down of them picking one. I think it does. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going, because this wide receiving draft class is completely loaded. It's loaded, guys, completely loaded. So you can get one in the 3rd, 4th. You know what I mean? Maybe 2nd if you want to get one in the 2nd. If you want to get one in the 2nd, you'll still get a stud. So this is what we're getting out of this guy. This is like, and in that Tampa Bay season of 2019, Antoine Randall, who's our wide receiver coach now in Detroit, was his wide receiver coach in Tampa Bay. So obviously he's in Brad Holmes' ear. He's telling him that he's got all kinds of talent, and he does. He has the talent. We've seen it. We've actually witnessed it. It took this kid a while to get going, but he got going in that 2019 season. 2020, he didn't do much for the Jets, but he stayed relatively healthy. I think it was he played 12 games. He started in 12 games. Missed a few, though. Missed a few due to injuries again. He's just never really gotten over that injury bug. A little FYI on him, though. I picked up Brett Perriman in fantasy football back in 2019. I picked him up. He was going on a late tear, like I said, and I remember scooping him up and playing him against the Lions. I remember that. I think it was the week 14 or week 15. I want to say it was. I think it was semifinal weekend in fantasy. And he ended up with like 5 catches for 113 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I'd like to thank Brett Perriman for being a big part of my fantasy football championship that I won in 2019. He was a huge part. I also had Winston. I also picked up Winston late that year too, very late, where he was just throwing for like 400 plus yards a game. But he was also throwing like 4 or 5 touchdowns, but also throwing 4 or 5 interceptions. It seemed like, you know what I mean? But he was killing it for me. I ended up winning a championship. Thank you, Mr. Perriman. Thank you, Mr. Winston. Now, that's it, guys. We're going to get in Breshad Perriman. That's what I think we're going to get. He's the number 2 as we speak. Right now, he is your number 2 wide receiver in Detroit. Tyrell Williams is the number 1. Now, I'm not saying Tyrell Williams is 1A and this guy's 1B. I'm just saying I think Tyrell Williams has a little more talent than Breshad Perriman. You know what I mean? It's not like this and here. It's more like that. They're pretty even keel, but I think Williams has got him by a step. Now, it does not rule out wide receiver though. So I don't think it's done here. They are adding pieces, and they're adding pieces that we have talked about for months. We've been talking about this for months. This is what they're going to do. They're going to sign cheap deals to younger guys. They're going fairly young here. Brockers is 30. I don't know how old Bullock is, but he's probably closer to 30. He's a kicker, though. They can kick it. They can play until they're 40. It doesn't really matter. But with these positional guys, they're going relatively young. Like Perryman, 27. Tyrell Williams, 26. Charles Harris, 26. They're going young. They're going really young. Jamal Williams, 25. You get the picture. So that's it, guys. It's going to be an interesting year. Don't expect too much from this. A wide receiver is not out of the picture. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to hit my subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Hit the notification bell. Get all my videos and like and comment. It's all about the likes, all about the thumbs up, and it's all about the comments. I'd like to get back to you guys and just talk about Detroit football. Let's go, guys. Boom.